Aurelio.
Here.
Brian Bushnell. David Dynameyer.
Here.
Pat Kerrigan.
Here.
Al Nally.
Here.
Dave Molitor. Cindy Keller.
Here.
Five here, two absent.
Can we please stand for the pledge of allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, Mr. Holland, is you too. I need a motion to approve the agenda as submitted. Do I have a motion? Lights? Al. Roll call.
Mike Aurelio.
Yes.
David Dynameyer.
Yes.
Pat Kerrigan.
Yes.
Al Nally.
Yes.
Dave Molitor.
Yes.
Cindy Keller.
Yes.
6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, motion passes. Approval of minutes. Okay, I have a motion to approve the open and closed session minutes dated November 20th, December 4th, December 11th, and December 18th, 2013, and the open session minutes dated December 17th, 2014, as submitted. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
David?
Second.
Dave. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Comments from the audience. I am going to read this tonight. It's on the back of these green sheets, but of course, since you handed them in to me, you no longer have them. So it says, though, that to please provide your name, and please make note, we do have a 3-minute limit. If you do want some answers from us, if there's something that you would like to hear back from us about, please submit it in writing. We are pretty good, we're very good actually about returning emails and things like that. There is a large group here today, and we ask that, you assign a spokesperson, maybe 2 or 3 to comment. I think that was in one of my emails to someone who asked. Please know that the president may deny an individual the opportunity to speak if the individual has previously addressed the board on the same subject within the past 2 months. And then the same thing, please, if there are repetitive speakers will be asked to only bring new information. And please know that specific confidential issues need to be addressed regarding employees, students, or personally identifiable information of an individual. The board will hear those issues in closed session. So I don't think we have, I kind of leave these out, do we have a problem? So I'm going to start with Ray Zick.
You know what,
You want to wait a little bit?
I'll pass this
You're
time,
gonna, okay.
just reserve my 2 minutes.
Then I'm going to go to Ed. I'm not saying your last name, Ed. I say Frank every time. Say it again. Mr. Andrew Skevich.
Where do I stand?
Right there, there's a microphone. I know you react pretty well, but
Okay.
I think it takes it down here.
here's Ed.
Okay. Real quick, I am a parent of 3 children in the district. I am here to address the board or ask the board to consider. You are going to receive bids on transportation this evening, meaning you're going to be outsourcing transportation. Now, if you were going to hire a babysitter or a caregiver, you would do it yourself. You would not hire a company to assign some random person to care for your children or your elderly or whomever needs care. The district, by outsourcing, is not going to have a say in individuals that are going to be driving the buses. My wife was a professional, decided to be a stay-at-home mom when the kids are working, go to school full-time. She was going to get back into the workforce, but wanted to be there before and after school. She became a District 113A bus driver. She transports her children and all the children that's on her bus as if they're her own. She gives them care. She knows these kids in the community. Now, if you outsource, again, we lose control. There's a bus driver that works for a local contracted bus company, such as those that are going to be bidding tonight. I don't know if that one is going to be bidded or not. that individual was discharged by District 113A as a bus driver for inappropriate behavior. Now, if we outsource, I do not see how we can limit a person who is already discharged by the district from continuing or coming back and actually transporting our children again. I wish the board to very much consider that type of a situation. That's not conjecture that the quality is going to go down. That is a fact. And I really think the board should consider that before jumping in and outsourcing transportation. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle, are you ready?
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay. We'll just answer what's on here, is that
Sure,
what you want?
that's fine.
Okay,
Thank
I'll
you.
give that to Pam right here. Jude Chapman. No, it's not even.
I'm not going to talk about the bus situation, sorry folks, but I have something more, like I've been talking the last couple of board meetings in regards to the Common Core state standards. Can you guys hear me?
No.
No, I have something, can you hear me without it? or-
No.
I think you're off.
Now it's
Now
on.
it's on. Okay. I have a real concern with the Common Core state standards that we're all switching to, and I don't know how much information you and the audience know. I've been digging into this for about a year now. The Common Core is really not a state-led proposition. It was within the 2009 stimulus package, there was money given to the Department of Education, and the Department of Education said we're going to do Race to the Top. And if the states wanted Race to the Top money, they had to say that they would do the Common Core state standards, as well as do a longitudinal database system, which is the tracking system for the children. So there's now a name, David Coleman. You can look up the name David Coleman if you want to. David Coleman is known to be the architect, but he has no teaching experience whatsoever. He's academe and all that, but he has no teaching experience. And he is quoted as saying that if you realize in life, you realize that people really don't give a bleep about what you think or feel. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation money is all over this. Bill is quoted as saying that, what's my notes? That the Common Core, we'll only know if the Common Core is successful when the curriculum and the tests are aligned to the standards. So they're going back and forth with tests and curriculum and standards and all that. It's all tied together. It's one big thing. So now I have some evidence of what's coming. Sort of my fear is that my son, 7th grade math, brought home some math sheets the other day. And in here it says assessing reasonableness of the answers. Even when you understand how to solve a problem, you might make a careless solving error. You should always check your answer to make sure it is reasonable. Not that it is correct, that it is reasonable. It's a very lengthy fraction thing, and it gives the answer what it's to be. But in the end, it says the answer is reasonable because it is close to the estimate. There's no estimate given. The answer is right on here, but they're going back saying it's reasonable to frame this picture on the wall, but it's reasonable. I don't want my surgeon, I don't want my builder getting an estimate that's 3/4 of an inch off. The other one that came home is now we're going to work together and we're going to use counters to use for integers to find out what 4 minus 2 is. This is 7th grade math. And the third one is now we are going to model to find out with these counters 3 plus a negative 2. Start with 3 positive counters to represent 3, add 2 negative counters to represent adding minus 2, form 0 pairs. The value of a 0 pair is 0. Adding or subtracting 0 to any number does not change its value. So they have to go all through this to find out what positive 3 plus negative 2 is. So you're working with a partner, you're working with counters. I pity the poor man that has this child go through this and comes up to the Culver's counter and the computers go out and all of a sudden it shows what the amount is, it's $2 and the guy's to get $155 back. But the kid doesn't know that. Wait a minute, I gotta get my counters out, I gotta get 200 counters and I gotta subtract, 45 counters because he can't figure out what $200 to get to the answer is. So just real quickly, I've done this before. I've said I love this school, I really do. I don't like these standards. I think we can do better as a community, we can do better as a state. We don't have to follow these standards. We can pick and choose what it is. So we can do better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and Ray, you don't want to speak, right? It takes a second
Takes a
for you
second
to
to tap on it.
There you go.
Okay, I'm Ray Zick. How you doing? I just wanted to say, when I found out that you guys are gonna considering outsourcing our jobs, I have a lot in this school district with the building itself because I actually worked on the school when it was being built. It was a company I worked for 20 years. Heavy equipment mechanic and truck driver as well. And I want to talk about our drivers. You know, you will not find any drivers with this class. They're top class drivers, quality drivers, and we all care about the students. If any of you know me, have heard about me, I've raised 4 kids, and I have 3 grandkids. And I treat every one of those kids like they were mine. And I mean that. You could ask any of those kids that ride my bus, okay? And I'm sure, you know, my colleagues here, they feel the same way. And then the thing that you need to really consider if you're gonna outsource, I just drove my bus through the safety lane. And I've seen some of those buses, First Student and a couple others, there are some ratty, beat up buses. And, you know, considering if you're gonna get student, or drivers from out of, you know, not in Lemont, you know, from different towns, different age groups, you know, we have a lot of people here that have been driving for almost 20 years. And this is something to consider. I brought this up. I look at it, you know, is it a money thing or is it about relationship? I mean, it's one thing over another. What's more important? I see this all the time in businesses and everything. It's like, oh, it's the bottom and it's the dollar. What's really more important? I wish there were more parents here. I've talked to some of them and they're pretty outraged why they're not here. You know, everybody has their own agenda. But after talking with a lot of them, they're not happy at all. And I've talked with my students, the kids on my bus, and I've informed and talked to them, and I told them. And they say, you know, we don't want anybody else. And I'm sure there's a lot here that feel the same way. So I just want to address that. You know, if you're considering the outsourcing, the equipment from other companies, the cost, and later on, are they going to jack up the price? You know, we're local here. You know, we're in it for the long haul. You're going to get, as Ed said, you're going to get people that don't even care about these kids in this community. You know, are we a community or aren't we? So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Lord Regal.
Okay. Laura Regal, Lemont, Illinois. I'm representing several different people in our community of Lemont. I'm here to request that the Board of Education place on its agenda for the next regularly scheduled board meeting a discussion of the bond and interest fund surplus. The surplus now totaling $1.9 million. In addition to the discussion, a vote on a tax abatement as a means of reducing the surplus. The purpose of this request is to enable me, as well as all of the taxpayers in the community, to hear the opinions of each of the individual board members regarding the return of the excess debt service taxes, and to know how they stand on the issue of the abatement by the votes that they pass. A discussion would, of course, require some fundamental understanding of all the issues involved, including the size of the surplus of each bond fund, when, how, and to which fund, which individual debt service funds the surplus accumulated, Any statutory authority or limits that may exist regarding the creation, magnitude, duration, and disposition of the surplus reserve. Any and all formulas used to determine the sufficient amount necessary in the surplus reserve funds. What plans for using the surplus the Board of Education has considered. What the size of the surplus should be in the opinion of the board members. What mechanism other than a tax refund does the board contemplate for reducing the surplus when it has reached its sufficient or planned maximum level? And of course, by what authority does the board claim to own the assets in the debt service surplus reserves? By discussing this refund at an open meeting, the community will be able to learn about the refund I have requested, as well as the position of each member of the Board of Education. I look forward to you taking action on this suggestion. Next, this meeting has a lot of things in it. There's only one public comment. On the means of the transportation, I would like to know why the District 113A cannot run transportation at the same cost as the bid submitted. I believe the community of Lemont has the right to know those answers to that question, and they deserve that answer. Also, I'm going to pass out to each board member a copy of last night's approved calendar from Lemont High School. I would like this board to make sure that their calendar aligns with the high school's calendar, as they say that they do. So I'm going to give you all a copy of it. It was approved last night. Thank you.
Kathy Kirby. Kathy Kirby. And yes.
Drivers. On behalf of the drivers, I'd like to read a letter that we prepared for the board members. We are here tonight to share with you who we are. We are your bus drivers, and collectively, we have 200 plus years of driving experience in District 113A. We are your neighbors and fellow community members. We shop in our community, we send our children to our district schools, and have had children graduate from District 113A. We, like you, pay our fair share of taxes and help support our schools. We care what happens to the children in our district. We are the first adult that our children see in their school experience, and the last adult they see on their return from school. As drivers, we accept the responsibility of making sure our children get to and from school safely. We know the children who ride our buses. We know their parents, and in some cases, drove these parents to school in District 113. Just like you, we believe in child safety. It is our responsibility to make sure that our children are released to the right individuals. For example, we know that when a garage door is not open in a particular home, we take the extra steps by calling the school building so they can verify that someone is there and responsible for the child. When given information that there is an order of protection on our route, we do everything in our power to make sure our children are protected. We make sure that our children are dropped at the correct locations, whether it be their home, grandparents' house, or daycare facility. We have real relationships with the students who ride our bus and their parents. There are times when we have to use our own judgment, such as this winter with the snow and ice. If there are no sidewalks, we will drop the children off at the driveways. We don't just drop our kids off at the designated pickup drop-off areas and let them walk in unsafe and potentially hazardous situations. In the few emergency evacuation situations in our district, we were readily available to pick up our students and take them to the district-designed safe location. We are also team players. We work together as a team. If a bus breaks down, we know the drivers in the area and contact them to pick up the remaining students that may be standing outside in all types of weather to catch the bus. We help each other out and know each other's routes. We understand the financial condition of the district, and we have helped the district financially by bargaining and making wage concessions such as we reduced the amount of hours we work in a day. We took a pay cut for 1 year. The next 3 years, we took wage increases, and we have not received step increases since 2009. supported our district and have helped you when we have asked us to do so. District 113A Support Staff Association, IEA, NEA, your drivers, has shown your support through these trying times, and we are asking you to support us by not subcontracting our jobs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a couple of announcements as the president. First off, our April workshop is going to be with Jeffrey Cohen. I think it'll be a really good time. It'll be in between superintendents. It'll be a good time for us to talk about ourselves and what our goals are and what we want to see happen in the future, so we can all get on the same page. And then I have something kind of very nice to say. What do you think? That meeting will be at 6. April 9th. Oh, you're putting in the calendar? 6 p.m. But I guess, I don't know, we don't have a meeting on the 2nd? Or do we? No. Okay, but I have something kind of fun. It's not fun, but thank you, Ernie, and thank you, Sandy, because I think it was those two who put their heads together and helped this happen. I got to personally thank Pete at Citgo a couple weeks ago because I was at this mystery theater thing, and it was kind of neat, but they gave us 2 deliveries of 16 tons of salt, 16 tons each time. So thank you, Ernie, because I'm very accident prone, and very good thing we had salt. And thank you, Sandy. But between the two of you, I am so glad that really worked out well, and I cannot tell Citgo how appreciative I am. And unfortunately, we still need it today because it's still, without everything melting and then refreezing, it's just, we're very lucky. But I know now there are places to buy it, but at the time, we couldn't find anywhere to even buy it. Please. And if Ernie wants to say something too.
I wanted to thank all the kids at River Valley too, who put together thank you cards and letters to Citgo that we sent off to them. We probably got a couple hundred of them over there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were quite excited to get them.
I know even the village ran low on salt because my whole neighborhood is drivers, you guys know, there was no salt on those streets, you know, so they got the main streets, that was it. So it was nice that our playgrounds and our parking lots, everything else were salted, and that was all because of Citgo. So thank you, Ernie, for thinking of it, and thank you, Sandy, That's it from me. Patrick, do you have anything this month?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's good, because we've got a long agenda and we're just gonna keep moving on. Finance and audit, you guys met yesterday. We're gonna talk about some of your decisions.
Maybe do 2 parts, 1 part now and 1 part when we talk about the.
Okay, hurry it up.
All right, I'll make it quick. We did the second quarter, we reviewed financial statements. There wasn't a lot to report. Everything's pretty much falling in line. In a few areas we want to look at revenues coming up, what we expect. That's still right on. If you look at the financials, salaries look like they're unfavorable. It looks like we're spending more than we really are. That's going to be fixed with the audit, so it's just a timing issue.
Okay.
2
Can you pull
areas.
the microphone just a little bit closer to yourself too?
No,
It's such a deep voice.
Congested too. So.
Oh.
A couple areas we were keep an eye on: legal services, insurance. We're going over budget on those. We have some offsets elsewhere that we can take care of that. Overall, we'll come in on budget, but those areas are coming out a little more than we expected. Special ed, we're pretty close. That's on the ed fund. O&M, natural gas obviously is over the budget. We kind of looked in January just to see where that's putting us. So we're going to probably go over on budget on fuel. Salaries, probably going to go over budget as well because of the storms and the buses and all that, so that's important. But overall, we're within the parameters that we set.
All right.
Have enough quick enough?
Yes. Insurance, you guys are meeting tomorrow, okay, so I'm gonna cut you off right there. Wellness, Mr. Bushnell's not here, but you guys are also meeting tomorrow, correct, Mary? Okay, gonna stop with that one. Disciplinary intervention, there's no report, it says. Facilities committee, we're gonna actually be talking about that within here, so, I'm gonna just skip that real fast. And technology committee, you guys met on February 10th. Tracy, did you wanna say something real fast?
Yeah, just real quick, we're narrowing down our devices, our student devices and teacher devices. We're in the process now of getting 3 quotes on each one. And at your March 5th workshop meeting, we'll bring you some more information about our whole entire process, where we're at on it, and hopefully have them for you to kind of look at that day. So March 5th, you'll get more information
March
about
5th, we're hoping
everything.
to keep it an actual workshop, so that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, okay, skipping right to the superintendent's report.
I don't have an actual report, it'll come out in our presentation, so.
Great. Treasurer's report, can you go that fast, Barb? Come on.
So, yeah,
No.
Year-to-date revenue is $13.8 million. It's $11.2 million in our operating funds, which is 52% of the revenue budgeted, which is right where we anticipate being at this point in time. And year-to-date expenditures are $11.3 million in our operating funds, overall $16.1 million. The difference there being that we had a large bond payment in December. We're at 55% of expenditures, which is where we anticipate being, actually a little bit lower than what we anticipate, which is usually about 58% of this time. So we're right within the parameters of our budget.
Okay, Al, do you have something or?
the only account I had was the TAW account. It's still out there, it has like $5 in there. Is there anything we can do? What was that account?
I will ask them.
That's all I have.
Okay, can I have a motion then to approve the treasurer's report, reconciliation schedule, variance explanation, bank statement, and PMA analysis, PMA cash flow projections, revenue and expenditure detail, balance sheet, investment structure, and FRIS report for the month of January 2014 as presented? Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, that would be Patrick and Mike. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Oh, here we are. Presentations. David Dykemeyer and I got to serve on this committee. It was fun. I got to know some more of the teachers once again, and Mary was our leader. She's one. Michelle, I forgot. She's sitting behind Barb. She's like, got her made it down.
So, would you like us to?
Oh, she's looking up now. Does she start it or is Mary starting? Who starts it, Michelle? Come on.
Mary does. Are you
I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Sandy, do you have? Would like, the other members, all of our committee members won't be participating in the presentation, but we do want to introduce everyone who participated, who's here this evening. So I'll start over here to my right, Michelle Nevin, Joanne Mitchell, who is a teacher at River Valley, Mary Haley, a teacher at River Valley, Jennifer Klukas, a teacher at Old Quarry, Debbie Lynch, principal, Kathy Slee, Bill Karen, is anyone else here? Laura Hodge, a teacher at River Valley, and Susan Wilson is not able to be here this evening, and Marge Cunningham is not able to be here this evening with us. So as the board knows, as an extension to the collective bargaining agreement that was approved this past summer with our teachers union, there was a memorandum of understanding that directed the union and board representatives to get together and explore options that could be used to maximize teacher planning and or collaboration time. And so the committee was a result of that directive from the memorandum of understanding. So there were 7 members representing the board administration and 7 members representing the teachers. So this was our charge statement, and the committee's job was to come up with a recommendation and present that to the board and to the union by February 15th. We met that requirement through a written report that was sent to the board and to the union last week. This is the process that we followed. We brainstormed ideas, what are all the possibilities that could be used to maximize plan time and or collaboration time. After reviewing them, talking about them, what would that look like in our district? Some things were not possible in our district because of the structures of our schedules or the number of staff members that we have. We prioritized the options and found 3 that were viable in our district. We then we analyzed the data, again, the numbers of people that some of the options would require, the timing, the cost, and then we conducted research from other districts who implement the options that we considered.
I feel really weird, I'm on this chair.
Come on up.
I don't know a good
You guys
spot.
feel
Over
better.
there, I know,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
like, people's
Yes,
backs.
yes.
This is like teaching 101.
Yes.
I'm napkin. Okay, the intent of this slide is to inform board members and audience members some of the terms you'll see throughout our presentation. What we did is represent the things that we already have, the professional development time that we already have. Currently, we have 4 full institute days. You'll see institute days in our presentation. Institute days are non-student attendance. They're used for mandated state training, school district initiatives, building issues. Again, it's a non-student day. We currently have 3 half-days devoted to school improvement planning. Again, that could be different depending on what building you're in. It's planning. Usually it's all staff together. And then breakout sessions, individual grade levels, or subject content. Individual plan time happens usually on a daily basis for the individual teachers. That's your planning, prep, lessons, grading papers, more content in your classroom. So individual time. Collaboration time would be the time spent with grade levels or curriculum teams together. And those last 2 happen on student attendance days then. Well, there has been some time devoted to collaboration within current schedules and structures. Really, the purpose of the committee was to determine that the priority would be to increase opportunities for collaboration, that time that teachers and grade levels spend together between, obviously, teachers and grade levels mentioned right there. Again, sometimes those happen on student attendance days and non-student attendance days. And you'll see our options come up as we identified 3 of them that we really